Number 10, I have the Jacksonville Jaguars. And I want to say, I feel we talked about this on the first show with Matt, where we were talking about kind of like the honorable mention tier and how, some of the guys in the honorable mention tier could easily have a case for being in the top 10. And Ravens fans got really, really upset at that notion for whatever reason. But I feel like it's even more jumbled up with defense, or maybe I am just picky about like the defenses I like, because when I look at these lists, we have to come up with a top 10 list for, defenses, but I don't really feel like there are 10 good defenses. When you start looking at the collection of talent, sometimes I feel like it doesn't feel as strong as the offense, where you look at some of these units. Yeah, as complete, like from top to bottom. Like I think there's a lot of defenses that have a lot of good players, a lot of assassins that can go out there and make a play for you. But as cohesive units, there are only a few where I was like, yeah, like I feel really good about all 11 players here together. So for number 10 with me, I went with the Jacksonville Jaguars, who they had a weird offseason, but it did benefit their defense.
Don't they?
Yeah, because they got Joshua Hines Allen, I should say. Excuse me.
Good job. I had to do that in my notes. I'm training myself. Hey, he wanted to change his name. I want to make sure. I want to make sure to honor it. But yeah.
Well, look, I wouldn't want to be called the other Josh Allen either. So, especially coming off the season he just had. But getting him back in the fold was huge, because he solidifies their pass rush. He gives them a pass rush, really, in general. Because I think when you look at Trayvon Walker, where he's at, yeah, he had the 10 sacks last season, but he's more of a cleanup guy, or someone who's going to be your number 2 pass rusher instead of someone who's really causing havoc as the number 1. So you got him locked up. You just got Tyson Campbell locked up, who, he kind of got, I couldn't tell if it was a dig or not when he got labeled as the highest paid non-Pro Bowl cornerback ever. I was like, okay. It's
in the tri-state area.
In the tri-state area, right. A weird distinction. But he's a good player, and I think getting him back in the fold, if he can stay healthy, that's big. And Andre Sisco, I think maybe some people are a little too high on him. I saw someone say like Earl Thomas range before.
Oh no,
on Twitter, but no, he is one of the better safeties in the league. So I think when you start looking at just this group together, plus the addition of Ryan Nielsen coming over from Atlanta and taking over the reins, that's going to be a big one. I think it should be big for the defensive line development too. I think the Jaguars should have a space in here as one of the 10 best defenses in the NFL.
Yeah, I threw the Jags in at number 9. I'm right there with you. Kind of your opening comments. This is a perfect example of this, about like none of these teams feel totally complete, these units, I should say. And they're a perfect example of this. Ryan Nielsen, the defense coordinator, is doing a lot for me. As you know, as a Falcons fan, what he turned like a very incomplete unit into a very well-playing unit with the Falcons. I mean, they even underlying stats was friendly to them. Not so much DVOA, but EPA success rate. They really fun blitz packages, simulated pressures, which really helps guys out. And also this kind of, at first, when you said the Andre Sisco thing, I thought you were talking to me because I put him as one of my breakout players. So I was like, hey, now. And then you're like saying Earl Thomas. I was like, okay, I'm with you there. Yeah. I do that. But I think this defense is perfect for Sisco because he's aggressive. He's heady. He can play towards the line of scrimmage in a way. He can blitz. Like, he can do a little bit of everything, which is perfect for what Nielsen likes to do, especially like how he used Bates last year and all those things. But yeah, cool blitz packages. He likes pocket pushers up front, big, long guys. That's also what the defense or the general manager likes, Trent Baalke, which is almost a meme at this point. But this is what he likes. He's from the Saints system. They like big, brawny, long-armed pocket pushers. They don't want bendy guys that work around. They don't want finesse guys. They want guys that push. Well, that's how Josh Allen wins. He's great kind of knifing inside, making it edgy. They got Eric Armstead. Trayvon Walker, you already mentioned him, but he had the quietest 10 sacks you'll ever see last year or not see last year. But this type of defense, and what Nielsen likes is perfect.
This is good for him.
He's a pocket pusher. He has no pass moves. This defense coordinator is like, good. I'm fine with that. So, yeah, just looking at the rest of the roster. You mentioned he's a very good corner. It kind of is perfect that he got labeled as the non-Pro Bowl because he kind of is that tier. He's like kind of Pro Bowl-ish, but kind of just below it. Alua kind of solid, overpaid, low overrated. Devin Lloyd needs help, but I actually think this defense will help him. But yeah, that's where we're saying incomplete. So, but yeah, I also like Darnell Savage, probably one of 2 people in the world that still does, but they're going to put him in the slot, which is what I'm excited to see that. And maybe being blitzed, make him play forward. He didn't do well when he has time to think. He needs to just run and go. So this type of defense, I think, is good for him. Yeah, but I'm
Darnell,
with you
the
on the Jags.
overhang player, is a lot more exciting than Darnell, the deep safety. Because when he's back there and he's got to see and read things out, wasn't
fast.
Wasn't going well for him. But in the nickel
he's
spot,
fast and not fast. Yeah,
right. Yeah. Yes, exactly.
With the Packers at the end of 2022, he got to play a little slot. And it was kind of a revelation a little bit. And I think that's where I have that back in my mind. That's like, maybe we're going to see that a little more. Maybe I'm extrapolating a little bit too much. But yeah, the Jags are number 10 for you, number 9 for me.